Alright, here we go. We are getting ready for this. Meanwhile, I do have to get predictions underway here. We go, and here we go. We are diving into our second semis of the night and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Berlingrad ALE. We have the Mexican Protoss player himself representing Team Super. It is Pacomike. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Berlingrad ALE, we have the Brazilian Zerg player representing Team Super. Everyone's on Team Super. It is TheZergLord. And here we go, people in the chat. You have 3 minutes from hearing this message to place your bets. Who is going to make it to the grand finals to face Master? Oh boy. Again, my condolences go out to Ryu. Ah, God, he's such a good player. And again, we all saw what he wanted to get out of Blackburn out of that ace match, but he just couldn't get there in the end. Just a little bit too greedy. On the other side of things, we have TheZergLord, a player who is never too greedy. Always sometimes a little bit too aggressive, very different stylistically compared to Ryu, but he is last week's Copa Hyperion champion, you know? He was able to overcome Pacomike, he was able to overcome Ryu, he was able to win last week for the first time in a long time. So we'll see if TheZergLord can be back-to-back champions, or if Pacomike can have his revenge. We shall see. So far, again, pretty standard openers. Hatch gas pool from our Zerg player Pacomike, as he usually does, is patrolling here with his probe, not being too annoying against these workers, just wants to confirm whether, you know, if any zealots, what? Zerglings get made. Here we go, the Zerglings are now on the way. Just making sure there's no crazy Ling Flood or any kind of crazy tech, no fast gas, no fast lair, nothing like that going on. I don't know if this is worth it, I'll be honest, for the Protoss player to confirm like drones instead of Lings. I guess specifically against the ZergLord, it may be worth it just because the ZergLord has a bit of a reputation. But even then, I don't know. I don't know, it may just be worth like patrolling and denying the third base. Speaking of, third base is on the way here for the ZergLord. And to be fair, I guess Pacomike is able to confirm this with the probe. Nice probe. Nice probe, Scott. Nice probe, Scott. Wow, he actually keeps the probe alive. I did not expect that. Oh my god, and this is what I'm talking about. This is why you need to be on top of your scouting here against the ZergLord. The Adept shades in towards the natural base. Doesn't commit to the shade, but he needs to soon because we have a Bane Bust. Oh boy. Again, there's good reason as to why I keep saying that the ZergLord is the most aggressive out of the big Zerg players in Latin America, you know? Like, this is what he does. He goes for Bane Bust, he goes for Roach All-Ins, like, he just hits these timings. But will Pacomike fall for it? Because he keeps checking the natural, and he should be noticing the lack of workers. Like, this drone count is not where it needs to be. Has Pacomike been able to piece it together? Because the Lings are coming across the map. The Lings themselves have not been scouted. We have a shield battery, but we still only have one pylon. We don't have a backup pylon. 2 Adepts. I mean, this is all looking pretty standard. Pacomike is taking more gases. He needs an army. Oh boy, we need to see a chrono boost here on the Cyber Core, not on the Stargate, puppy. We need Warpin. We need it so bad. Here we go. Banelings are being morphed in, and that wall is soon not going to be a wall anymore. Here we go again. There's no Stalker either. The Banelings are rolling on in. Finally, Pacomike realizes what's going on. Oh my god, but the Adept goes down. The Lings flood in. This Artosis pylon is not going to be around for much longer. We don't have enough engine for an overcharge. No! We do have an overcharge barely at the end, and it's barely keeping that pylon alive, but the shield battery goes down. Oh my god, the probes did a surprising amount of damage. And Pacomike is defending. He did lose 7 workers, but he's still ahead. The ZergLord, was he not spending his money while he was fighting? This Ling Flood feels a little bit late. Not gonna lie. Ay, ay, ay. And just like that, Pacomike is in a beautiful position. He's ahead in workers, he's ahead in tech. He has a second Oracle on the way so he can harass across the map if he needs to. The ZergLord, he knows he cannot transition. He has to commit. He's going for a second Bane Bust. Ooh, he gets us around on the Cyber Core. No more Adepts, no more Stalkers, but we don't even care because we have charge on the way. Zealots are going to be thrown down as fast as possible. Bailey's going to be run in. Get the pylon. Ooh, he does bust on through the pylon. The shield battery is not going to get up and running. Oh my god, they get into the mineral line. Boys are pulled off the line. They're going to try and survive. So far, they've done a great job. Bailey's will connect, only getting 6 probes in the end. And once again, Pacomike holds. And the TheZergLord is going to try for round 3. What are we watching right now? I mean, I don't blame the TheZergLord. Like, it makes sense, you know, like, you can't drone. There's no way. Like, there's just no way to drone from here. You have to keep going. Just keep smashing your head against the wall and something's going to break. The Zealot doesn't even break. Oh god. Just second overcharge. GG gets called and Pacomike defends beautifully and takes the lead in this series. Oof. Oof. GG. I see Opino in the chat, a Brazilian finals would be nice. It's been a while since we've had a Brazilian finals, so personally, it would be nice as well. Personally, I hope it's not a PvP finals. I don't want a mirror matchup finals, but that may be where we're going here, as Pacomike does take a lead. Again, I don't think the TheZergLord is going to try and bait a Bane Bust again. And he can play standard, he can play macro. Please, Papi, just play macro against Pacomike. He's not that scary. You can do it, Papi. You can do it. I believe in you. See, Jadoff, will we get another 30-minute game? Well, so far, we've had a quick 10-minute game. Not even. But we'll see what game number 2 has in store for us. Again, I don't believe we're going to see a Bane Bust again. But we could see a 12 pool. I could see the TheZergLord doing that. Meanwhile, here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hardwire LE. We have the Mexican Protoss player himself representing Team Super, and currently up in this series, it is Pacomike. It's Paquito. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hardwire LE, making workers, so not going for a 12 pool or anything crazy like that. We have the Brazilian Zerg player himself. It is the TheZergLord. Oh boy. We'll see where this takes us. The TheZergLord already popping off with an attempted Bane Bust in game number 1. Didn't quite work out for him. What do we have in store for us in game number 2? Are we going to see a Queen? I think he did that last week. He went for a Queen Walk, which didn't work either. We'll see. I just want to see something more standard, Papi. I believe in you, Papi. I believe. We'll see as Pacomike once again goes for the Worker Scout, just confirming, okay, your pool is on time, your gas is on time, and nothing crazy is going on. I see Donge 3K in the chat. Sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield. You're not wrong. True, Papi, true. Aye. The TheZergLord was indeed the bug. As Pacomike being a little bit annoying, just tasing away at that worker. Gonna be going back. Oh, yo, he's coming back! He's coming back for the worker! Oh my god, he's such a menace. Like, Protoss players that do this are so annoying, by the way. Like, obviously they're not gonna, they should never get a kill on this drone, but the fact that they're doing it, like, he's coming back, by the way. He's going through the mineral line. Oh my god. He's taunting the TheZergLord right now. Like, what are you gonna do about it? Lings are coming out though, and eventually they'll be able to force this probe back. Again, making sure that the probe doesn't block that third. As the third is on the way, the probe rotates around, and Pacomike should be checking the third location. Okay, doesn't check the horizontal third, checks the triangular third instead. confirming that it's not there, and we'll rotate around, and yeah, it's all good. Just making sure there's no 2-base all in, which the ZergLord, to be fair, could do, has done so in the past. So Pacomike should be feeling relatively safe as he goes into his Stargate opener. I'm sure, I was going to say, I'm sure he's going to be a little bit more vigilant about checking the drone count. But he actually gets in, he gets 1 drone, he's going to get a 2nd. Ooh, almost gets 2. Forces a spore instead. And he's going for a Void Ray back at home. This is all going to get scattered, by the way. The ZergLord, he gets in with his Overlord. And even if he doesn't see the Stargate itself, he should see the Void Ray as it comes out, as it is going to be queued up to kill said Overlord. And we'll see where we go from here. Just because we have a Void Ray first doesn't mean it has to be Sky Toss. But when it comes to Pacomike, it could be. Like, if you were here earlier today against Ryojin, Pacomike did go double Stargate Void Ray. Like, that did happen. It was disgusting. He went double Stargate Void Ray into Carrier, and it worked. He was able to beat Ryojin in the end. So even though it's out of fashion and out of meta, Pacomike is more than willing to indulge himself in some Stargate play. But for the time being, he is going to be going for a Twilight Council instead. Transitioning into Ground Toss, and it's going to be on the ZergLord to try and figure this out. So this is the difference between the ZergLord and Ryu. You know, there's a reason why Ryu is my boy. Ryu does go for Pneumatized Carapace straight after Link's speed, just to confirm what the follow-up is with his Overlord. Because the ZergLord doesn't have a 2nd Overlord in position, he doesn't see any of this. He has to rely a lot more on these Lings and incomplete information. He is going to see the 3rd, which is a bit of a tell. You know, it's like, oh, okay, you know, you're transitioning, maybe. Like, things are looking normal. And he does have a Link here at the triangular 3rd, just to see anything coming out of the main. Specifically, a Warp Prism. But as we can see, there is no Prism. This is Glaives without a robot. So this is going to be a relatively late scout in the end by the ZergLord. He should be getting safety roaches anyway. At the same time, ooh, Oracle dips into the 3rd base, but takes a lot of hits there by those queens. Good positioning here by the ZergLord. Oh my god! And gets the Oracle. Not bad at all. What's a little bit scary is that, again, he won't see these Adepts until they come across the map, until these Lings spot them. Hopefully that gives him enough time, though, to make roaches. He has the Roach Horn, but right now the ZergLord is droning his heart out. And he's even getting double Evo Chambers. He is set up for a wall here, so he can wall off and stop Adepts from getting into his natural. But again, this is going to hit pretty hard. And there we go. The Ling does confirm the number of Adepts, and now he can start making roaches. As they are coming across the map, the ZergLord, okay, even fully walls off here at the natural. He is getting ready for those Glaives. The only kind of base under threat is going to be this 3rd. And I don't know if Pacomike has enough to really break on through all these queens and the oncoming roaches. Incoming roaches. Meanwhile, there we go. He actually goes toe-to-toe with the queens. Yo, he goes for the high energy queen. We see 1 transfuse, but the queen will go down. So will these things. We need roaches to help deal with this. Oh, meanwhile, he tries to shade on through, but the ZergLord so quick on rebuilding that wall. Oh. And because of this, well worth it here for the ZergLord. The Void Ray is going to try and dive in, and sure, gets 1 Overlord, but that's it. Adepts do shade into the 3rd base, and they're going to get a couple of drones, but not that many. 2, 3 drones. This is okay. 4 drones. All things considered, very well handled here by the ZergLord. This could have been worse. In the end, he lost 2 queens and 4 workers. Well worth it in the end. The ZergLord has survived this first stage of aggression, bearing in mind, though, that this wasn't all in by any means from Pacomike. Oh no, the queen! Unfortunately, we missed the transfuse there. Is he going to get a 2nd queen? Oh my god, this Void Ray is disgusting. It shouldn't be getting queens like this. But yeah, like, he wasn't all in by any means. We do have a Blink behind this, +1. Immortals are coming out as well. The ZergLord is immediately going for a counterattack. The ZergLord has actually stopped droning. He didn't even go up to 66 workers. He stopped at 60. Oh boy, this push is very committed. Is this going to work? There is only a single Immortal, and where are the shield batteries? Only 1 shield battery at the 3rd? Pacomike is not ready for this. Oh no, he's even out of position. Not like this, puppy, not like this. Oh my god, the pylon is going to go down. The shield battery gets depowered. There is no overcharge. And just like that, a couple of the sentries are going down as well. The ZergLord is closing the distance here, and Pacomike just doesn't have the army. He does have Blink, but there is no +1, only a single Immortal, and the Immortal is being focused down. Just like that, the ZergLord is rolling over this army with his counterattack. Pacomike maybe taking up a little bit too much, even biles down the Void Ray. Oh. And again, those Glaive Adepts didn't deal anywhere near as much damage as they needed to. The ZergLord, he was content to just make the roaches to counterattack, and GG gets called. The ZergLord ties up the series 1-1. Oh. GG. A very, very nice counterattack there by the ZergLord. Again, that was only possible because the Adepts, let's be honest, Pacomike handled those Adepts a little bit carelessly. We saw quite a number of shades that completed trying to bust into the natural despite the fact that there was a wall, and Pacomike should have had sufficient time to recognize that and to re-rally those shades. Those Adepts, their goal is, one, to deal damage, but if they can't deal economic damage, you need to keep them alive just to keep threatening with shades and keep those roaches at home. As soon as those Adepts die, there is nothing stopping the ZergLord from coming across the map. And Pacomike needed to buy more time. He needed to keep those Adepts alive. Again, not necessarily to deal damage, but just to keep the ZergLord busy. Otherwise, we saw what happens, you know? +1 wasn't done. We only had one Immortal. We weren't set up defensively at all. Like, I feel like with the death of those Adepts, Pacomike should have reacted a little bit stronger to that and should have even over defended. Yeah, just playing a little bit risky there. GG. And at least we have an ace match. Let's go. Meanwhile, what is happening in the chat? Oh god. Come to Brazil, papi. Why am I going to Brazil, Jado? Oh wait, aren't you going to Brazil? Am I crazy? Someone's going to Brazil. I don't know who, but someone is. Alright, here we go. We have the wrong map. We'll be back soon. Shaking my head. Since the drone has spiky things, shouldn't that spiky thing do damage to anything close to it? I don't know if thorn damage is a good thing to have in StarCraft. Maybe, puppy, maybe. Has Asher been commentating much lately? The last thing I casted with Asher was the Home Story Cup qualifiers for North America. I did drag Asher on to cast that. Tis true. We don't cast often. Yeah, I don't want to take up too much of his time. He's, you know, busy getting good at the game, not so much casting. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. But if he was available, I would love to have, I was going to say, I would love to have Asher on for the cast. The problem with Latin American StarCraft, especially recently, is that we don't have a lot of Terran players participating. So I don't think Asher would be too happy with casting this. It's mainly Zergs and Protoss, let's be real. Which I'm not complaining about, but Asher would 100% be complaining. Shaking my head, Asher, shaking my head. Meanwhile, here we go. We are spawning in the ace match of our final semifinals of the evening. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the Mexican Protoss player himself representing Team Super. It is Pacomike. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the Brazilian Zerg player himself, tying up the series 1-1, also representing Team Super. It is TheZergLord. Also, yes, Asher from time to time does cast, if he's on Shuyu's stream, I know Shuyu has been dabbling a little bit in the Magikarp Open, so I don't know if that's going on right now. If they are, we're probably going to give them a raid after this. You know, we do love to give some love over to Captain Canuck and the other amateur tournaments that they do cast over there. But for the time being, we are here in our own Latin American weekly, and we are here in a larger map. And this is where I worry a little bit, because Glittering Ashes and Pacomike screams to me Sky Toss. One of the largest maps in the map pool. Pacomike, a Sky Toss connoisseur, a double Stargate Void Ray connoisseur. So I do worry a little bit here for the ZergLord because of his aggressive style, whether it's, you know, like his own timing attacks or his own counter attacks. They do hit that much later on a map like Glittering Ashes. So I do have to favor Pacomike a little bit depending on the strategies that they go for. We'll see. We'll see if the ZergLord can overcome that here. As, again, for the time being, standard openers, hatch, gas pool, drones left and right. My Twitch experience. Asher has ditched you. No. Asher's not a regular caster here on the CranKy Ducklings. Darking ditched me. Darking. For those who don't know, Darking is El Padrino of Latin American StarCraft, and he usually runs this tournament, Sentimiento Latino. But, oh my god. Oh my god. Unfortunately, Darking has been busy recently. For those who don't know, he does work for Twitch. He works for Twitch Latin America, specifically the Latin American region or division of Twitch. And he hasn't had a lot of free time to cast recently, or even run tournaments. Massive shout out to TheZergLord, the Cuban admin, as he is actually filling in for Darking tonight. So much love to TheZergLord, much love. But the reason why I was freaking out, oh god! The reason why I was freaking out is because we did have a Twilight Council opener. For the first time the entire night, we do not have a Stargate coming out from the Protoss. And because of the gateway count, we are going straight into a Dark Shrine instead. So we'll see how this goes. The fact that we have a Stalker as a part of the wall is a bit of a tell. The ZergLord should be aware, hold on, if you have a Stalker here, that means you probably aren't making a Void Ray and you're keeping things hidden. The Overlord is going to get eyes on this Robo and the second gateway, but this could, for all the ZergLord knows, this could still be Glaives. The potential for DTs is there though, so he should be working on Spores momentarily anyway. I do love the link spread here from the ZergLord as well, just making sure he gets an eye on whatever comes out of the main base, whether it's an Oracle or a Void Ray or a Warp Prism, whatever it is, he is going to have eyes on it. Meanwhile, he also confirms, okay, a third base is thrown down behind this. So again, not an all-in by Pacomike by any means, but just a way to be aggressive across the map. Could end the game, could just cripple the economy, could do nothing. We'll see. As the Dark Shrine has finished up, Warp Prism is on the way as well. This isn't really lined up properly, I will say. And, the first DT is warped in here under the Overlord. A new queen has emerged. The ZergLord, I don't think he saw. No, oh my god. Okay. Okay, I think he's so lucky right now. I was about to say he's not making spores. The ZergLord has zero detection. If DTs walked across the map, they would have ended the game. But instead, Pacomike warps in an Archon instead. Oh my god, the ZergLord is so lucky. I mean, sure, we have a lair on the way, but it's still on the way. The DTs would have hit now. The DTs would be in the bases right now and would be dealing damage, and the ZergLord would be under so much trouble right now, but Pacomike, instead, he goes for the Archon. I think he respected the ZergLord a little bit too much because his build was a little bit mistimed. I think he just assumed that the ZergLord would be ready for him, so Pacomike doesn't punish the ZergLord, and the ZergLord, he gets away with the late spores. Oof. Oh boy. The game continues. The game continues, and I do think that the ZergLord is now a little bit ahead. One, he wasn't wasting resources with the early spores, he delayed them for a better economy. Two, the DTs didn't really do anything either. Like, sure, the Archons killed an Overlord and a couple of Lings, but they haven't paid for themselves. Not yet. This, though, this is annoying. Creep is being cleared up here in between the bases, is going to help up with the follow push. The active creep tumor does get taken out. Gonna first force the ZergLord to respread as best he can. We'll see transition into Blink from here for Paquito, El Pacomike. Oh. And yeah. Things are gonna kind of calm down from here. Now the ZergLord, he's defended against the Archons, he can drone up, he can take the 4th base, he could probably even double expand from here if need be, depending on how aggressive these Archons are going to be. But we'll see. There he is. Shout out to Tuxavier in the chat. Again, running the tournament, making sure everything goes smoothly. I believe the head of Break the Wall Esports. Much love, puppy, much love. And yeah, from here, I do think the ZergLord, he's handling this well. Roaches to begin with, just to defend. We have a Baneling Nest behind this. Roach, Wrath, Ling Bane should be the army composition of choice here for the ZergLord. And that can work very well against Ground Toss. If there was any time to tech up, I do think it would be now if he wanted to go into Hydras and Lurkers, just because Pacomike is not committing to just gateway units. He is going into his own immortal-based army. But maybe I'm speaking too soon because oh my god, Pacomike, he's here. Oh my god, and the sentries are exposed. No! Oh, 2 sentries get sniped immediately. 3 sentries even. Not like this. Where are the force fields, Poppy? This is honestly maybe the worst engagement that Pacomike could have hoped for. Just like that, the Archons get taken out as well, and now there's just barely any energy to work with. Even that Immortal taking a lot of damage as well. Pacomike, the win has been taken out of the set. We can't commit here. We gotta leave. The ZergLord, he's diving on the opportunity. Finally, we have a couple of force fields. We do have Biles here on the Prism, barely dodges. But the Immortals are going down, and the Queens are here to zone away the Prism. Pacomike there was a lot of potential here with his push, but when it comes to the execution, he did struggle a little bit. The Biles will connect here with the Prism. It will go down. The Immortal falls as well. Only Blink Stalkers remaining, and the ZergLord just shut this down. Again, Pacomike with a little bit of mispathing there, left all of his sentries exposed. Like, that was the most ideal scenario for the ZergLord. Like, it was, his dreams came true. And Pacomike now has no staying power on the map. He gives up complete map control. He's trying to get into disruptors. He only has a single robo, so he can make 1 disruptor at a time. And disruptors are good. They're not that good, though. I'm a Zerg player. I'd like to call them OP, but in this scenario, it's not going to be enough. More lanes and Banes being rallied across the map. The ZergLord knows that he doesn't need to drone up right now. He just has to go across the map and kill Pacomike. Pacomike was able to rebuild an army. He has a shield battery. Sure, he has that 1 disruptor. How good is it ever going to be? Nova goes off the Banelings. Ooh, does get a decent connection there on some of those Banelings, but there's just not going to be enough here. The Immortal goes down. The Nova is off cooldown. Overcharge is going to help out a little bit. But even that isn't going to be enough, as it is depowered. At the same time, 2 DTs are actually dealing a lot of damage across the map, but it's not going to be enough. GG gets called, and the ZergLord takes the series 2-1. GG, well played. Capitalizing on the mistakes of Pacomike there. Pacomike exposing his own army. He didn't just expose his army. He committed. Like, despite losing all those sentries, he's like, okay, let's go. It's like, mate, you just lost, like, all of your teeth, you know? What are you doing? Like that was it. There's, like, the sentries are what you rely on to cut up the army, to slow things down, to get more warp-ins, to keep your Immortals safe. And they were anything but safe. GG, well played. Congratulations to that one person in the chat. Your wish is coming true. We are getting that all Brazilian finals.